This is my favorite catalog. I use this, and I use any other Eddie Bauer catalogs, any kind of catalog, and you'll get you don't want the pages too heavy. Now on this catalog, and I noticed a lot of them are that way, this page that is on the outside, the paper in it is heavier than the next pages. And so I don't use the cover because it's too heavy, and it's not, if you make strips out of this and use it, it's not going to be the same weight as the other strips. And so it makes it hard to put it into some sort of a smooth design. But what I do is I use these catalogs because I like the fact that you can get a sheet of paper that's this long, cutting it this way. So first of all, I take out the staples. Thank you. And then I just open it up in the center, and I use you can cut it with scissors. I like to use an old paper cutter that I have, and I just open it up. And find the middle. Not when I need to. Okay, here we go. And then I just lay it in the paper cutter this way so that I'm cutting this way. And I cut 2-inch strips. So this is what you end up with, is these little strips. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is what you do after you've cut the strips. And I've cut enough strips, and I have enough of these that we roll them on for everybody to have one, and you can keep it and take it home, and so that way you can fiddle with it some more at home and get good at doing this. You can shut it off for a second. The next step we're going to do is, after you have the strips rolled and flattened out in your hand, we want to make them so that they curve like this. And the reason why we want to do that is because when we roll them up to start something, which is starting with this here, when we roll them up, they will roll smooth and round. If we don't do this, you will see them, it'll go till the thing kind of kinks, and then it'll go till it kinks, and you won't get a really round circle. You'll get something that's kind of jerky around. It doesn't roll smooth. So for paper, they use what they call a bone. It used to be a bone, but this is just a plastic bone. But what I found that works just as well, and you can pass these down, are pencils, especially the ones that have an edge on them, like these two. And so then what we'll do is we can start at the end. That's the big end of your little roll, the big end. You can pick up some of the ones that are down there now. You won't be using, go ahead and pick up and try this now, where you take the big end, which is the end that was closest to the rubber, and you just put your thumb over it with the pencil and drag it through like this. Just go like that. Sometimes it breaks. But you just drag it through like that, and what it does is it gives it a bend, and it makes it so that it will roll now. It will roll because you've run it over the wood or bone or whatever you have. And so I do that with all the strips after I've made them. The next step is to run them over with the bone. So does everybody want to try the bone on some of the strips that are laying down there? So now what we're going to do, I want you to watch me for this time. Then you can go back to doing, whatever phase you want to. We start with these. I'm going to show you how to start just at the center. Take the skewer and take one of these little strips. Start with the skinny end. And what you want to do is put the skinny end just right at the end, so you can tuck in the end like you do when you start the triangle section. And then you just hold it, pull it tight, and roll it up on the skewer. Just roll it up. It's hard to get it sometimes to roll straight, and that's where you have to, work with it a little bit. Just keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. And then when we get to the end, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. You want it to cover the end because the very end is what you want to go down. And don't let go of it, because if you do, it's going to unroll. So then you have a little thing like this. And while you're doing that, let me tell you about this glue. You can get this at Joann's, you can get it at Michael's, but it's by Aline, but it's called Fast Grab. And this is going to grab onto what you're making and make it hold almost instantly. I mean, you can hold your finger there for a few seconds, but it's going to hold almost instantly. And if you were to use like Elmer's glue or the white school glue, no, you'd be holding this and holding it and holding it until it started to set up enough to be able to let go of it. So now, once we've got that teeny little piece like this, does everyone have their little piece that they've rolled now? And everybody roll, I'd like you all to start one little teeny center. And you got it glued? Mm-hmm. Perfect, that's fine. I'd just like you to get the feel of making one of the centers. And then we'll skip over to your piece that I got going a bit. Because this is how you start it from the very beginning. Now we're going to take our center. I've added a few little rounds to it, but I want you to get one of the strips, and here's some more strips if we need them. Make sure everybody has strips to work with now. Darlene, can you take these down to the end of that? Now, when you do this, you need to look on here and see where the last one ended. And I like to wrap mine clockwise. I don't think everybody's looking here. I want to wrap mine so it goes clockwise. And so I want to hold it like this, and like this one. Okay, here's where the thing is. Here's where I glued the last one down. I want to go clockwise, so what I want to do is flip it over so that I'm starting here and going around. Now what I do is I take a strip and get a little bit of glue on it on the small end of the strip. Get a little bit of glue. And then with my hand up like this, I press that and hold it for a second. See, hold it so you're getting your next strip on. Then I need it flat. Lay it down, and I go like this, winding it on the table so that you can wind it right around. That's going to make the bottom side completely flat. If there's any discrepancy in how big your paper is or isn't, it's going to all be on one side. The bottom is going to be flat because you're rolling it on the table. And then I'll show you something else here in just a second. Okay, then fasten that one down. Hold it. Then what I do, is it on? Okay. Then what I do is, and I'll let you use some of these scissors. Let me wait. You can stop if you want. I'm going to wait. I've got a dot in the middle of the bowl, and I just put the skewer through here. Then I'm going to put it on the dot. This is to get it centered. Okay? Get it centered. Then go like that and go down in like that, and that gets you your bottom shape of your bowl. See?
That's amazing.
And from then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this so that it will. And if you were doing it at home, you'd be gluing this and then going to another one, or just waiting for it to dry, or drying it with the blower. And I'll show you how to do that. But what I'm doing is I'm doing this because I don't want this to keep shifting. So I want to be able to, when this dries, I want to be able to put a little leverage on it to add my next pieces. And if this is shifting around on the top, then it's hard to do that. And this glue is like Elmer's glue, and it's mixed a little more glue than half with water. Like a little more than half glue, like maybe a half cup of water and little more than a half cup of glue. And then what happens is this dries, and then it's going to be more stable for you to work on. And what I do at this point is I don't want to wait all day, for it to dry. Then I can dry it and I can dry it just in a short period of time. And then if I get more and it seems unstable, then I'll glue that part. Then when I get the whole thing done, I coat it again with glue on the outside. When it's dry, I flip it over and coat the inside with glue too. And that's going to give your thing some stability. Now, I have some pots here that have